This is the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast, and I'm your host, Trudy Simmons from the Daisy Chain Group, providing platforms and opportunities for businesswomen to be seen and heard. This platform is for the women entrepreneurs that want to hear the real stories of what it takes to be yourself and run a business with all the different hats that you might have to wear. Come and join the Shine On You Crazy Daisy membership, offering online networking, co-working, collaboration and monthly masterclasses for you to grow your knowledge. Go to thedaisychaingroup.com for more information. These are the platforms to hear and share the stories of the tenacious, the rebellious, and the resilient women that are working towards the future that they build for themselves and their families. Hello and welcome to the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast. And today I am thrilled and excited to introduce you to Anouska Grist from Nova Pure Naturals. Anouska, I am so thrilled to get your story out there, but please tell us about your business.
So my business actually started from me not being able to find a baby powder or a suitable one for my youngest daughter. So I started making my own. Didn't actually intend to sell it. Didn't actually intend to kind of bring it to market as a product, but it was my best friend who kind of kicked me up the backside basically and said, why are you not selling this? There's other mums just like you that would love this product. So I was like, okay. So I started kind of taking steps and here I am today.
Amazing. But your story is, it's hard to read and it's hard to take in what we as business owners, as women can go through in our lives to get to where we are. But you made the decision to start living, and this meant changing your situation. What made you want to change?
Well, I didn't want to feel the way I felt anymore. I just couldn't go on like that. Having that realization after having, it does sound like such a cliche as you're going down that dark tunnel, but when that did happen, I did realize that I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I want things to be different. I need things to be different. And I had that sudden realization. I knew then that I had to change things myself. I had to do it. No one was going to save me but myself. And what kind of example was I setting to my daughters as well? And that was another realization. I thought I've got to show them that you can hit rock bottom, and when you hit rock bottom, I mean, you can't go any further than that. The only way is up. You can climb up or you can stay there. And I decided to climb, and I wanted to live. I knew there was so much more.
People need to go and read the chapter to realize how visceral that is, because that feeling of you hitting rock bottom and then making those decisions was huge at the time. And as I said, your story was harrowing to read, but it led you to being more interested in natural healing. But when did that journey start?
So with natural healing, it started in 2014 when I was actually working on Andover Market. I worked on a bread stall, and it was fun. It's great in summer, not great in winter. Freezing cold in January. But I was working one day and suddenly felt really, really, really tired, and my body hurt, and I had this like buzzing underneath my skin, and I couldn't explain it. I actually, it made me cry, and so I'm not an easy crier. I wasn't then. I am now, because since having Nova, I'm really hormonal. But then I wasn't, and I was quite warrior-esque, and I was strong, and I felt really poorly, and I had to go home, and still I couldn't just leave it unanswered. I made doctor's appointments. I actually went to A&E that day. I went to A&E. My mum took me because I wasn't driving at the time. And she took me, and they said, we've got no answers for you, and they told me to make an appointment with my GP, so I did. And they still had no answers. And the second one I saw told me, oh, well, it looks like it could be fibromyalgia. And I was like, well, okay. No, we're going to look more into it. And I was still having problems. I was having stomach problems as well, stomach issues. And I went for another appointment, and they told me, oh, it could be possibly, you could possibly have fibromyalgia and Crohn's disease. And I said, well, what can you do? What can you do to help me? And they said, well, we can't do anything until you get worse. I was like, okay. Okay. So I went away feeling a little bit defeated and laid there on the sofa, which is unusual for me because I like being busy. And I laid there and I was like, okay, what can I do? What can I do? And I just sat there kind of feeling a bit defeated. And this voice came into my head, and I kid you not, it sounded like me, but it wasn't me. And it said, let food be thy medicine, let medicine be thy food. And I was like, okay. So I started researching, and I've spent the next couple of hours looking on my phone, going down routes and going into dead ends, and then stumbled across something. It was called Beth the Vegan Woman, and I read the story, and she was, I think she was 16, and she had permanent nerve damage and was in a wheelchair, was told she could never walk, and someone approached her and told her about a plant-based whole food lifestyle. And she kind of, it was raw as well. She ate a lot of raw foods, and she did it. And a year later, she walked into her doctor's office, and all the jaws dropped because she was told to never walk. And me being the skeptic I was, I chucked my phone to the side and was like, yeah, right. And then I heard, what have you got to lose, in my head? So I changed my diet immediately, overnight. I did it. And within about 6 to 8 weeks, I saw a massive, massive difference to my health. All the buzzing had gone underneath my body, the chronic fatigue had gone, my stomach issues were okay. And so I carried it on. And I mean, I went into the doctors for a checkup, and I told them what I'd been doing. And they said, oh, well done, just carry on doing it. I was like, okay, you're not going to tell anybody about this? No, just carry on. It's like, okay. So I then kind of started looking into more methods of natural healing, and I learned more along like several 8 years, and I picked up things like about the skin, about the internals, about rebalancing pH in the body and externally as well. And so that led me into, like, with regards to, I mean, I'm digressing, but there's so much more to my story. I'm digressing, but I went back to college and I redid my A levels, and it was 9 months worth of work. Well, it was 3 years worth of work crammed into 9 months. And whilst looking after 2 children, holding down a job, trying to do the assignments, trying to do the homework, reading the books, going to the lectures, I realised then that my trigger for this nerve thing that I had going on, which I felt like I cured, it actually came back but worse, and I started dragging my leg, and my face dropped. It was like I'd had a stroke as well. And then started uni, and I got worse, and I missed so many of the lectures, and I was falling behind, and I ended up having to have loads of tests done. I pushed and pushed and pushed. I mean, I went to the doctors. They said to me, it's just anxiety. It's just anxiety. Here, take this. I was like, this is not anxiety. And it was another doctor that said, how soon can you get to the hospital to see a specialist? I said, well, as soon as I need to. And he said, right, I'm booking you in immediately. And I went in, and they couldn't find anything wrong. And I said, well, do you know, I'm getting a bit tired of this. And I pushed for an MRI, and I got my way. Never let go, just keep pushing. And I got my way, and it turned out I had multiple sclerosis. And they found that I had Crohn's disease as well, which was why I was struggling with coping with certain things, eating things. And it set me onto a whole different kind of way of learning about natural healing. And I was like, right, okay, so what worked for me before, we now need to tweak it and enhance it. So let's work on that. And learn further about more about the skin. I was really, really interested in sorting my skin out as well, because I had spots really bad when I was younger. Like it was just fate. I think it was where I drank so much and poor diet and
all done
it. Yes, all done it. We've all done it. But
it is amazing when you look at what the whole chapter as a whole, and you see you now and what you've achieved and what you've done, and hearing these things and the way that you have been able to heal yourself through investigation, through research. But then you started Nova Pure Naturals. Where has that led you?
So it has led me to being a more determined person, a more determined, and just to realize that there is, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So always take a leap, And I mean, it led me to, I mean, I already knew about the law of attraction, but I've kind of enhanced my learning with that over the last couple of years. And kind of tweaked it, and actually I've got it down to a fine art now. I know how to kind of, if I'm getting out of control with my emotions, I'm like, stop, take stock. Is this useful? No. Okay, bring it back. Positivity.
Love it.
That absolutely changed your whole life. It changes your whole life, and it has mine.
You've, with the powder that you created, with the outcomes that you've seen, with the clients that have come to you with real issues, and they've been almost cured from what you have been able to create. You've been in Vogue, Tatler.
I've been in British Vogue. I caught the attention of Tatler, Grazia, Glamour, Elle, Harper's Bazaar, a New York Times publication, and a publication that deals with New York Fashion Week, and also a publication that deals with Fortnum & Mason as well as Harrods. But I was so scared to take the leap last year because I thought, I'm not at this capacity to go viral. If this happens, I can't do that just yet. But this year I'm facing my fears, and I've enlisted a brand new social media manager. I mean, I already had one, but I've enlisted one. Taryn, her name is. She's lovely, and she's going to absolutely grow my Instagram and my social media. I have absolute faith in her. We've had talks today as well, because I'm having issues with trying to get into my social media business accounts at the moment.
This is the wonder of your business, is that when you would have mentioned this to people years ago, they would have thought, oh, that's nice. Anouska's set up a little business and she's created this little powder. But when a media chain grabs onto it and goes, you've got something here, the feeling that goes through you, that is an automatic either building of your confidence or I'm not ready yet. And then when you feel ready, which I could tell the change in you at the beginning of this year, it was like, I'm ready. I want this now. I've done the research. I've got the outcomes. I'm ready for it. What's one lesson that you've learned that you would want every entrepreneur to know?
Take risks. Take risks or live with regret. Take risks. Always do. Because even if you make a mistake or you fail, you can always learn from it. You can always learn from it. And I have done. I mean, I made the mistake I made a couple of mistakes along the way, and I'm like, well, I've learned from that, and I know not to do that next time. And yeah, just take a leap. Yeah,
absolutely. What's your favorite business book?
So my favorite, I've actually got more than one. So my first one, probably my top one, is Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. That changes the whole mindset. And also Sarah Aquasombi, The Money Is Coming. That one as well. So those two books have changed. Well, they were. I'd already read The Secret. I've watched the DVD. I've got the audio book in the car that I listen to. I'm always about listening to mindfulness and encouraging kind of positivity tracks. And what's it, Fearless Soul, I listen to as well. They're quite motivational. But these books, definitely read them. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a female entrepreneur, I mean, Napoleon Hill is dated back from the 40s, 50s. He did all loads of talks about it, but definitely relevant to today. And Sarah Aquasombi is a very kind of current book. So definitely, and she's got groups that she does as well that you can sign up to, which I am actually signed up to, and she's they're amazing. They're amazing. Definitely will encourage your mindset to be positive as well.
Yeah, good. What a massive turnaround in your life from making a choice and making a decision and taking the risks that you've taken to get to here. And I cannot wait to watch this explode over the next year or so. Thank you so much for writing a chapter for Shine Your Crazy Daisy Volume 4 and for doing this interview today.
Thank you, Trudy. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, please like the video and click the subscribe button for this channel for more inspiration. If you're a businesswoman looking for that community that will support you and lift you up, come and join the Shine On You Crazy Daisy membership, offering online networking, co-working, collaboration and monthly masterclasses to grow your knowledge. Go to thedaisychaingroup.com for more information. And for even more inspiration, please go to the link under the video and get your copy of the Shine On You Crazy Daisy series of books with inspirational and motivating stories from businesswomen around the world.